coming up this weekend, we've got the undefeated IBF welterweight champion Boots Ennis fighting Stanios on DAZN, of course. Yeah. Good fight?
It's a great fight. Boots Ennis, for me, is pound for pound up there as one of the best around at the moment. And I think Stanios is one of those guys that's sort of unheard of and untested, really, at any sort of level. But he's very good. He's tough. He comes forward. He's got a high output. He's a great body puncher as well. So, look, I'm looking forward to it. It's an opportunity for Stanios and for Ennis to highlight just how good he is.
For you guys out there, you've got to scan the QR code on screen and watch Boots Ennis versus Stanios this Sunday, live only on DAZN. Sign up at dazn.com/boxing. Moses, I want to get your thoughts on the upcoming Eubank versus Benn fights. Before I do, I just want to throw to Tony Bellew, who was on the show, the lineup earlier on this week, and see what he has to say about it first.
I think it's a fight of two halves, Jim. I think the first 6 belong all to Conor Benn. And I think the second half of the fight, that's where weight divisions exist for a reason. And people are going to say, well, you're just making an excuse, you're patting for both sides. I'm not patting for both sides. I think Conor's going to win the fight. And I'm not saying that if Chris Eubank wins, it's because of his size. No, the best man will win on the night. Regardless, you both come in and agree the weight that you're going to fight at. It is what it is. I just think when you match people up stylistically, I can't take anything away. Conor Benn is so explosive and so fast. He is going to leap all over Eubank. Like, what you're seeing in these press conferences, the shoving, the pushing, the eggs, like, this is really real. Like, these... If these was to, like, the hardest thing you're going to have now is fight with keeping these two apart. Because if these two bump into each other on a street, walking around London, or just perhaps one walks into the other, it's happening on site.
Matchroom company man Bellew there. Listen, I've made a 4-act play about what I think of this fight, but I'm more interested in what you think of it. You've been caught up in all this because there's a lot of hype, a lot of nonsense going on it.
It's entertaining, isn't it? So
is it?
I do like watching it. Who do I think is going to win the fight? Yeah. I generally don't know. I feel like Conor Benn wants it more. He said, I don't even care about the belts. I just want to fight Eubank. I want to knock him out, X, Y, Z. So like, I feel like Conor's got that heart there and obviously the explosiveness. And then I just think Eubank, he's got that experience. Do you get what I mean? He's been around the block.
Size.
And the natural size. He's lost 3 times. People don't know how much a loss can actually change a fighter. So I generally don't know, and I guess this is what makes the fights good, doesn't it?
Yeah. If you were forced into answering as to which one you think most likely is to win, where would you put your money?
I'll put my money on Eubank because he's more experienced and he's obviously bigger. But like I said, I'm very 50-50 on this one.
Francis?
Conor Benn.
Conor Benn.
Conor Benn. I think, take away the fact that I think Conor Benn's biggest win is probably Chris Eubank Jr.
Yeah.
He stepped up to the plate on that night.
Yeah,
Chris Eubank has mixed it with in much better company and given, higher weights, and you've got that argument. But I just think that Conor Benn, he looks ferocious. He looks like he wants it more. And I think the age factor will come into it. And I'm not sure Eubank... Well, I don't think Eubank will be able to keep up with him in the first 3-4 rounds of the fight, and I think it'd be an early night. Yeah,
I've had the same. As far as I've been in interest in this fight since the outset, I've always felt that Conor Benn was the likely winner. I want to ask you, Francis, about the Ben Whittaker, Liam Cameron situation. Before I do, I want you to hear what Liam Cameron himself had to say about it.
It's going to be a good fight. To be fair, there's a mess about what contracts, what no one's letting me speak about, so I'm going to try on here. We've signed for a 12-round fight, and they're trying to push it for a 10-rounder, doing everything they can, and I'm not budging. I'm having a 12-round fight, and this is what I tried to do it on. Gloves are off. They won't let me speak about it, and on Sky Sports, they didn't air my interview. This is the problem we're having, is that I've signed a 12-round contract fight. When I was signing contract, I thought it couldn't barely get through 5 rounds. This was weird. So, like, a couple of weeks went by, and like, they tried to send another contract for a 10-rounder. So that shows me the confidence levels. I'm ready for 15 rounds.
OK, Francis, let me be clear where I am with this, despite people's perception of my allegiance with boxer. If it was a 12-round fight signed for, that's the end of the conversation. That's what it should be. Where are you on it?
Oh, I agree with you and agree with Liam. He's signed for a 12-rounder, and that's what everyone signed up for.
But what's it telling us as to why they want to make a production out of it being a 10-round fight rather than a 12-round fight?
I can only put myself in a position to say of Whitaker's team. So if a guy who I work with, or managed, came to me after having signed a 12-round fight, number one, I'm sure that I would get a severe and. Having agreed, if I'm Ben Whittaker's manager and he's signed for a 12-rounder, there's a problem there because obviously Ben doesn't want a 12-rounder, and that's it. Ben doesn't want a 12-rounder. He wants the fight to be as short as possible to make a maximum impact as quickly as possible. And for me, it looks like he'll be on his toes all night, just trying to ping Liam Cameron's head off. And for me, don't think it happens.
Can't let you go without asking you about the potential of the Usyk versus Dubois fight, which looks like it's going to be made. You may well be on the undercard of that fight. How do you see that fight, Moses?
It's one of them ones. If Usyk hasn't aged overnight, then I just feel like it probably could be the same outcome. But obviously, I don't want that to happen, only because obviously Daniel's a Brit.
Yep.
And it is better for boxing if Daniel wins because there's a passing of the torch. But at the same time, I just feel like Usyk's so far ahead of the curve. Is just I just kind of see him doing the same. That's if he hasn't aged overnight.
Right. OK, right, that's it for episode 115 of Talk Boxing. Thank you, Spencer. Thank you, Moses. Thank you, Francis. And we'll see you guys next time we're out.